I wanted to just show you how to make this preset from, not preset, rather this synth patch from my upcoming track. Other guys, I've had some really good feedback on this particular preset, synth patch. It's not a preset, I made it, and that's what I'm going to show you today. I've had some really good feedback, people really like it. So let's just have a quick look at it. So yeah, it's just a new disco style bass line. I just wanted to sort of explain a little bit of theory about the way that I make a synth preset now. I struggled for a long time with making synth patches, and really I realised that there's a process and there's a few ground rules to stick to when doing it. And so the process is that we create the oscillators first of all, and then we set up the amp envelopes on the oscillators, then we set up the filter amount, and then we set the filter envelope, and then when all is done, then we add some effects on top. And it's pretty much the same process every time. And the two rules that are really important to know are, firstly, that simplicity is the key. If you are spending too long creating a synth patch, then you probably need to just delete it and start again. 80% of the sound will come with 20% of the adjustments, so to speak. So, really you should get most of the sound with just a few settings on the synth. A couple of oscillators, a filter envelope, and an effect or two should give you the bulk of the sound, any sound that you want to create, and that's what I believe. Everything else is just tweaking on top of it to give it extra appeal, but the core aspect of the sound should be relatively simple to produce. And if you feel like it's becoming overcomplicated, stop, grab a coffee, have a cigarette if you smoke, and basically just chill out for a bit, and then come back to it, and maybe just delete the patch and start again. The other thing that took me a long time to learn as well was to just make tiny adjustments on the synth. So I used to just go in there and do massive adjustments all the time. And the problem with massive adjustments is you make an adjustment, you go somewhere else, you readjust something else to affect the sound. Before you know it, you're back at point one, which is where your patch is too complicated. At that point, you need to delete it and go back and start again. So I would say that we should have a look now at the track. What I've done is I've got the original bass line is here with the synth and some effects, but we're not going to worry about these things here afterwards. They're just for the mixing. And what I've done is I've set up synth Sylenth. By the way, we will be using Sylenth for this tutorial, but it doesn't really matter too much what synth you use. It's the same. I always use Sylenth now for all of my synth things, because I just feel like, once I've learned the process, it's the same, and I just got a bit fed up with shelling out money for more synths. I'm sure that, the developers love getting my money, but, I don't love giving it to them. So I just want to try and do everything with one synth now and learn that piece of kit inside out. So as I was saying, I have Sylenth on a different channel here. Track. Actually, no, I don't. I must have deleted it. Let me just drag that in. So I've got the original bassline, and I've got the new one that we're creating. Okay, so live died on me, and I had to shut it down and start again. So I apologise for that blip. So yeah, just picking up where we left off. I've got the original track here, which plays, and then I've got when I hit the 1 on my keyboard, I've auditioned this new track with an instance of Sylenth in. And what I do with this instance of Sylenth is actually clear that preset down. And so now we can just hear a very simple saw wave, which is the initialization patch in that. So the thing that we need to do is the first thing is to set the oscillators up. So really, I think we just need to turn the volume up on this a bit, just so we can hear it. And the first thing, yeah, is I've just got the volume levels on right on that. So I audition that with the original. Yeah, so it sounds about the same volume to me now. Maybe a bit lower, turn up a teeny bit. Don't let it go into the red. And so now what I do is I don't know why they set synths up like this. They put sustain up, but really the most important parameter with an envelope is the decay, because that's what gives it a pluck, and our ears are most tuned in to hear the pluck before anything else. So I want to just get the pluck sound of it right. So I'm getting the shape of the sound right first of all. Turn this up a bit. Sometimes I find that when I start doing the synth, all the volume levels are a bit low, so I have to just sort of max everything out, and we'll turn it down later. But so that's the first thing, is just to set the decay up, and then I just set the release up a bit, just to give it a bit of a tail. Okay, so that's only one oscillator at the moment. Again, I just, it's all about simplicity. But I know from experience with these new disco bass lines that it actually needs, the core aspect of the sound is 2 oscillators, and what we do is we need to actually pitch one an octave higher. Yeah, sounds a bit like that tune from like years ago, Body Rocks or whatever. But, so that's what that's going to do, is just give us a bit of height to the bass preset. And then the next thing that we said that we would do was set the filter amount. So what we do is set a low pass filter here, and what we're looking to do is take out most of the high end, because the next step we're actually going to reintroduce that high end. Okay, and once we've set the filter up on that, and remember we're just going through this process, and it's the same process every time, we're just trying to keep it simple so that we don't confuse ourselves. The next thing we want to do is set the filter envelope. And so what we do is we say we tell it the source to actually modulate. So we set our filter envelope up like so, and then the same as we did up there, we just turn this sustain down and turn the decay up. That's the most important thing, because that's what's going to give it the pluck. Obviously we've got a pluck going on in the underlying oscillator, but then over the top we're going to apply a filter, and that's going to give it extra I was going to say flavour, whatever the sound equivalent of flavour is, but yeah, the extra, I guess, sound character is probably the right word. So just play that along, and the next thing you need to do, and this is like a really important parameter here, this little guy down here, when you turn that up, that actually has an effect of saying apply this filter envelope to this oscillator. And the higher up that is the higher the filter will start. So if we put that up there, then the filter will start like here. But if we put it there, then the filter starts there. So obviously the higher up this goes, the more of the high end we let in. So I usually just stick it around about the 2 o'clock place to begin with, and put that back to where it originally was. So yeah, so you can see already we're starting to get a sound that it's the right shape. It's not right yet, but it's the right shape, and that's the key aspect. Is what really I'm trying to show you, is that it's actually relatively easy to get the right shape, and if you focus on that, get the shape of the sound then first, and after oscillators, we can tweak it, tweak the underlying things, because a lot of what's important with these sounds is the right shape. So we've got the right shape of the sound now, but it's actually too high. The next step will actually, it's actually quite surprising, because the next step will actually make it sound much more new disco style and less EDM style. So we just pitch both of these down by one. Yeah. So just compare that with the original. Whoops. I hate with Ableton when it does that. Let's compare it with the original. Okay, so it's the right shape of the sound, and depending on, I guess your experience level, you'll either know that that's not too far away, or you won't. If you won't, then it's just, the more you learn about this, the more you realise what's effects, what's icing on top, and what's the core of the sound. But we're fairly close with this sound already. But with that other sound that I made, it's got two things. It's got resonance and it's got delay on it. That's what gives it its character, and it's also got a bit of detune on it as well. But we've got the right shape of the sound now, and that is the process that we've just gone through gives us the right shape of the sound. That's the most important part. The thing that we've already done is the most important part. You know, that's a good beginner's disco, new disco style bass line. You know, I was making that only a year ago. I mean, I've been doing this for 7 years, and it took me like 6 years to get to that. But you know, you're starting to get there with that. So the thing that I did after that was I just maximised these oscillators to give it more analog warmth. And in order to get that just increases the volume of it. But what I did is the oscillator that's 1 octave higher, I turned this retrigger off, because what that does is that widens the sound. And it looks like we've got too much volume here, so I'm sort of going through the process again. I'm going back to the start. I'm going through the process. So actually, that's quite a good way of working, is to go through the process and then go back to the start, and just to always go through it that way, but make small adjustments as you go. I'm happy with the filter, but what I need to do is change the resonance. So if we listen to the original, it's got a bit of width and it's got resonance. So I can turn the resonance up on this. So the resonance is there, but what I've realised is that the filter is too bright. So we turn the resonance up, and then we go down to our filter amount. We just want to turn that down a bit. Now, I went to tweak that particular filter and it didn't work. So this is what I was saying earlier about doing things really gently. I'm just going to undo that, do Control Z on it, put it back. Because if the parameter that you tweak doesn't give you immediately the sound that you want, stop. Don't go any further, because if you go any further, you keep messing around with it. What I've found is that you can mess the whole patch up. So you have to just have a bit of discipline and stop there and just listen and have a think and try one thing at a time and try them gently. It's a bit floppy, isn't it? So I'm actually thinking that there's too much sound coming through. So if we just turn the whole cutoff down. Yeah, got it. So even me, who's made this patch quite a few times now, I got that wrong. I went for that one. I went for to affect the start of the filter, when really what I'm doing is affect the whole filter. So either that cuts off or that cuts off. They're basically, in this setup, they're pretty much the same. They're doing the same thing. So pretty similar, wouldn't you say? So now that we've done that, we've got our sound, which is pretty similar. The final thing is just to put some effects on top. So I just want some delay. And I just know that it's usually a 16th delay for bass lines. Okay, this is the original. Turn the amount down. And I'm thinking now we've put that delay on, but it doesn't. It's a bit weak, and usually when these bass lines are a bit weak, what that actually is not enough. Decay, the decay is too long and it's too floppy. So again, you know, we haven't actually done anything with any of the other parameters. So we've just done very simple things. So we can either do the decay on that one or the decay on that one. So why don't we just start from the top again and flow down to go down the workflow. I don't think it's that one. I'm going to go all the way down. Aha, there we go. Again, I made a mistake. So it's not that one, I go to that one. Sounding pretty good. It's almost identical to the original, actually. Surprised even myself. So, and you know, so really, I mean, that's it. You know, we have our bass preset now. I mean, I can maybe just take the original one off, put that one in. It's pretty similar. I'm just gonna maybe get the volume level up on this. Should put utility up. Yeah, so that's the original. Very similar. And there we go. That's the new disco bassline. So if you've enjoyed this, please, you know what I'm going to say. Subscribe to this channel, and if you would like me to send you the preset for this, the Sylenth preset, then just go to my Facebook page, which is here. I'll show you www.facebook, and deep scale. You just go to that and click like, send me a message, and I will send you the patch for this. I will do lots of tutorials like this. There's lots of things that I've discovered that took me ages to discover, and I found it hard to find the resources online, so I'm happy to share these. So yeah, if you like this video, yeah, just let me know, and hopefully in my next videos I can help you some more. And make sure that you watch out for my upcoming release, Other Guys, which should be released in the next month or so. Okay, thank you very much.